Alright, we are back with another episode in the Broncos sim-only franchise. So no games played here, at least by me. Well, none by me at all. No games played. We're just going to sim it out and see if we can make this team champion. So I rebooted this franchise with the scouting updates. I'll show you what we've got right now. You've probably noticed that on there. So as it stands right now, these are the 5 that we've got. I'm just going to go with the ones that are assigned. I did make a change here. Quarterback was initially listed as national. I changed it to West. I'm a West Coast guy, so I figure maybe we'll find a West Coast quarterback out there. Between the Pac-12, the Pac-12, I'm looking. We should be able to find something focused there. Since you, Suzanne Price, are my best scout, having her look and scour the entire country for defensive lineman talent. So you've got linebacker here, focus on the southeast Florida, some speed, and you've got central and northeast with the other 2 looking at the running backs. Probably will move on from one of these at the end of the season, but I'll let them play or go through the first season. Totally fine with that. So this is what we've got scouting wise. You can see here looking at preseason, I'm not a big guy in terms of record. We're 2-1. No real complaints there. Lost to the Rams. We beat the Vikings. I forget who the second team was we played, but we're 2-1. Not a big deal. But as we go into the season, we have a couple things to do. So we're gonna go to the staff. We've got 12 points to spend, and that's where we're gonna start. So looking at the tree, because there are no games this week, the key thing is where do we spend our 12 points? So looking at it here, we've got player growth for the head coach. Stuff for the defense. Can't buy anything just yet. On the other side, you've got tight ends, running back during training. We have a young running back that we may look into doing things with. This is a big one, the scheme fit. At some point, I think I may want to end up resetting and have it go on the other side. We could keep Vic Fangio for a bit, but not really necessarily worried about it right now. In terms of scouting, there are a couple of things that we can do. Coordinator, offense less, 10% less for defense, something to consider. You can see the difference here. This is highlighted, so it lets you know these are the next options that you can go, whereas these are just the regular picture. Same thing here. This is highlighted because you can upgrade this to tier 2, or you can just skip to the next step, so free to do either one. So that's what we got with head coach. Offensive coordinator, the next one here would be boosting the run block for the offensive lineman, finesse blocking, or boosting the stamina for our backs. And I say backs as in quarterback, running back, essentially running back, halfback, and fullback. Defensive coordinator, boost the block shed, boost pursuit, or boost the injury rating for all of our players. So there's an option there. It is 10 points. And then player personnel. Trades I will have to worry about in this franchise because I don't have the luxury of, I'm going to be playing against the computer, coaching against the computer, whatever, managing, however you want to define it. I will need this, and that's going to be important. On the flip side, with contracts, it's going to be something important to look at too. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I'm actually going to save the points for now. I think first glance I'll be trying to change the defense, but I'm not too worried about it. So that's what we got. So we have to do a couple of things here. We need to cut a handful of players. We're also going to need to upgrade some players, and we have an injury. I think it's just saying that because I was already there. Just letting me know I have an upgrade. Let's look at the injury first. Who do we have? Important injury, Melvin Gordon out for a couple of weeks. He will be back, but that is going to give the young running back an opportunity to jump in right away. Other injuries, not so major, but for depth purposes, kind of important. We do get a guy returning. Hopefully injuries aren't going to be super bad, but we'll see. So that said, let's go ahead and cut these guys. We'll upgrade after the training in week 1. I always like to do it that way. Save all of your points through preseason and do it all before the week 1 game. So into cuts. We got a couple things here. Me personally, I know they have the recommended, and a lot of people like to go off of that. Personally, I like to go position to position. What do you have? What do you need? Here, we have 3 quarterbacks. It says, hey, cut Brett. That wouldn't be a bad thing to do. Well, we have only 2 other quarterbacks. You always need 3, in my opinion, so you keep. Cool. Running back, we've got 5. There's no need for 5. I'm really going to go with the younger guys, so we'll just cut them, save a little money. Can move the practice squad here, 2 stash guys there, but not necessarily worried about it right now. Gotta remember too, Gordon is injured. Gordon will be back, so I will actually do one more. I will move you to the practice squad. Move you to the practice squad. Cool. So that narrows it down to 3, but remember we also have Gordon. Williams, superstar potential, or sorry, development. We'll see what we can do with him. Obviously, we'll be working on him. Fullback, we only have 1, not a big deal. Receiver, usually like to have 6. We've got 8. Cleveland, stash on the practice squad. And put him on the practice squad as well. Alright, so we still have to cut 15 more. Tight end, I like to keep 4. Question is, which of these 2 do you keep? He's older. Look at this. His overall is 29. Just on principle, I'm letting you go. That is terrible. Never seen a player rated that low before. Jeez, that's awful. Alright, offense. 2 left tackles, keep both. 2 left guards, keep both. Center, if we have more than 2, we're going to let go. But, Alright, so we have essentially 5 guards. You don't need that many. For that reason, you're gone. Younger guy's better. We'll keep him. That will give us 4 offensive tackles. We'll keep those. That takes care of offense. Now, defense is where we're going to have a little bit of an issue. So, thankfully, these are right next to each other. You've got 3 right ends. You've got 5 left ends. That's 8 defensive ends. You don't need that many, especially in a 3-4 defense. So, who goes? Pretty much for me, if you're over the age of 25 and you're bad, you're going to have to go. So, Harris, you're gone. Personally, I would like to keep 3 on each side. That's just me. Pretty much what we're going to do here. Between Cooper and Spencer, they both have normal development. Spencer's faster. He's not as good of a pass rusher, though. We lose cap space, so instead I'll move to the practice squad. Dump him down there. Defensive tackle, we've got 2. We'll need another one at some point. So then we get to the outside linebackers. So obviously Von Miller's not going anywhere. We're going to try to build this defense around the pass rush. So you've got those 2. And when I say those 2, I'm referring to Bradley Chubb on the other side. So we've got 6. I'm fine holding 6 for now. Middle linebacker, remember it's a 3-4 defense, so technically you need 2, meaning you probably would need 4 backups. Same thing, you're the worst and you're 26, gonna let you go. No need to hold on when I've got younger players that are better. Cornerback, going into the secondary. First of all, let's go to kicker, so we can make it easy. Hoping we might have more than one. So 1 kicker, 1 punter, we're fine. Corner, looking at 5 to 6. So we've got Fuller and Callahan. Those 2 for sure start. At some point, we'll have to worry about replacing them. Darby in the slot. Sertan Jr. will replace 1. So we're kind of good there. We've got 4 corners. And then Mike is the 5th. These other guys are expendable. You're older, you're gone. And then Vincent and Motley will be 6 and 7. Move you to the practice squad, and then just outright cut you. Drops us to 12. Safety, no more than 3. And we're not going to make it easy for me. I may have to cut one of these safeties. The question is who? You got Marshall, who is 25 and a 63 overall. He is a little bit faster. Zone coverage is better. We move Locke to the practice squad. So we'll end up with 5 total safeties. That is 5 total cornerbacks, so we're going to have to shave some space elsewhere. I don't want to get rid of a quarterback. I really don't. I like to keep 3. Running back, we're going to need more. Wide receiver, we've got 6. Cut Spencer, sorry. Alright, still got to cut 5 more. Tight ends, I personally like 4. We'll let you go. I'm going to regret this. I personally like 4. We'll have to build our roster a little bit different going forward. Offensive tackles, we've got 4. Anderson. We'll put you on the practice squad. So 3 offensive tackles. If an injury happens, we'll deal with it. We've got 4 offensive guards. We'll do the same thing. He's young, so I kind of want to keep him to see what he's going to be. You, though, we can move to the practice squad, even though the other guy is worse. Just that hidden potential. I want to see what it is. Alright. Center, we're going to be fine, and it basically is going to come down to defensive line. I'm going to have to let one more go from the defensive end position. Just we'll move you to the practice squad. And then probably the same thing with the outside linebackers. Have to let the worst one go. 22, 25, easy choice. Practice squad him. Alright, so the roster is set. We should be good to go. Let's go ahead and advance to the start of week 1. And now the real fun begins. I'm not going to actually have a game just yet. But what I will do is get stuff set up for the next video, and pretty much that's what we're going to be focused on, the start of actually playing our games. So first things first, what is our season goal? Let's be realistic. This is not necessarily a great team, but this is a soft schedule. As you'll see here, we got the Jaguars, Jets, easier games. You've got the Lions, guess you'd add the Eagles in as well. That's 4 easier games. The higher up you go, as you see. So basically it's 4 wins. That'll net you 3 staff points. 7 wins would net you 5. Playoffs 7. Super Bowl 10. All or nothing. I'm going to be safe and just take the 4. A high end would be 7, but this team isn't just ready just yet. This is a long-term build, and we're going to treat it as such. No get-quick schemes here, so that's the move we're going to go with. Not as big of a reward, but something I feel easier to do. Alright, let's speak to the media. What's the key to victory? Defense. It all starts with defense. We plan on making their offense uncomfortable and keeping them off the scoreboard as much as possible. And that's how it's going to have to be with this team. Run the ball effectively, but it is super, super important that we go out there and we stop the pass. We got the pass rush, we got the secondary, got to make it happen. Disrupting the pass. We want to control the skies. Great pass defense leads to a lot of great things. It makes it much harder for them to score and win the game. Also true. So, the goal, beat the Giants, allow less than 200 yards passing. They have offensive weapons in terms of the passing game. They've got good receiving options, both at the wide receiver position, tight end, and out the backfield. But collectively, that is the thing. Get to Dimes, get to Jones, put pressure on him and make him make mistakes. And that is where we're going to key in. So, next up, choosing a draft class. We're going to go with rookies. Just nothing crazy. You can see here the top ones. We're going to be looking at quarterback for sure. I'm not going to guarantee you a first round pick on a quarterback, but I can tell you that's where we're going to be looking at. So if you have not had a chance to look at this intro video to scouting, I have it here or there. Just scan it with your phone. It'll take you to the link and you can watch the video. Should be really fun to see how this goes over the course of the season. I'll be getting used to it. I have this. I have a offline franchise with the Lions, and then I'll be playing an online league with the Bears. So I'll get plenty of practice with this and see how things, like what works, what doesn't work, strategies to use, and all that good stuff. And then obviously I'll be watching videos, Bengal and other Madden creators putting content out there to watch. Take a little bit of a detour before we actually get to the game. One thing I like to do is focus on upgrading my players before, but in order to do that, I need to do and follow our strategy. So the plan, we are going to defend the deep ball. You have Kenny Galladay, a receiver who can hurt you deep. Focus will be on the pass. You can see here, though focusing on the deep ball, that's where he was most successful. The problem is the DBs don't help in run support, and it hurts the intermediate pass coverage, probably because your safeties are probably going to play a little farther back. That is okay. We have options here. You can choose anything across the board. I'm going to play against the deep ball. Though they are good at other things, I just want to make sure that we don't give up the big plays. I trust that if we get the pass rush, it should take care of the short passing game, in my opinion. It's just worry about once the ball is let go of on those deep routes, what you can do. So we're going to go with that. Advance. Also notice here player health. Some will have to keep an eye on over the course of the season. So fatigue, 99%. So you can adjust here. Half practice, full practice. Full practice, more XP, less recovery from fatigue. We'll start with full for now, and you can even go here with who gets the reps, the starters, split it, or the backups. So we're going to go with the starters across the board for week 1. Now, on the offensive game plan, our strategy is going to be running the ball. We're going to be a running football team. That is the plan. You see all the other things they have there, but our focus is on running the ball. And same thing here, you can see with 100%, it'll be a little bit different. You see down there at running back, Williams is going to start because Gordon is injured. Kind of helps a little bit when Gordon's back. He'll be, I assume, 100% in terms of fatigue, so it actually kind of works out well. But we're going to probably split with running back going forward because we want to make sure that Williams gets proper training. I need this guy eventually to take over for Gordon. That's the plan. One of the few things I can think of right now with this roster that I want to do. So you see Patty, one of our focus players, Williams another, and Chubb the third. So the 3 guys we're focusing on, we'd have to get these other ones down there once we unlock the after school tutoring, but that is going to be the plan. The other thing we need to change is this. What is our weekly goal? 4 or 5 touchdowns? That's a little silly. But there are other things to look at. How about win the turnover battle? You have an injury, a turnover prone quarterback in Jones versus Teddy. I like our odds in that, so we'll focus on that in terms of a head coach for 4 points. Offensively, it's a little bit tough here. We just go for leading at half. Defensively, getting to the quarterback is going to be the big one. But you have a lot of get to the quarterback. You have 2 elite pass rushers, just go there. And then for the weekly game plan, at least 1 interception. Keep it simple. Some are crazy, like you see these here. Those are massive, massive points, but those are harder goals to achieve. How it works. So those will be the goals that we go with. Let's train, and you'll see the results here shortly. So looking at the results here, you can see Jones and Harris both lose a bit of fatigue, but this is what happens here. So you get the drill XP, you get bonus XP if this player fits in terms of scheme, more, I should say, if it fits the scheme. And also on top of that, if there's anything in terms of your your coordinators, if they have any bonuses that help too, and then the focus. So Chubb, we focus on him, so you get the 300 out the gate, a bonus of 142 plus the 300 bonus for focus. And you can see the game plan boost, what is boosted because of it. So his power moves in terms of rushing, his finesse moves in terms of rushing are both +5. Zone and man coverage are +5 as well. Notice also, look at the difference between Bassey and Callahan. The difference in starters versus backups. Starters get more XP too. And not bad. You have a couple of guys getting some. Using the right stick, you can go to the offensive side. Same thing, Bridgewater gets his. Obviously, Williams is a focus guy, so he gets his. Fatigue is -4, so you have to do a good job of trying to manage that throughout the season. So we won't be doing full start that way. We'll have to look and see when the bye is. Maybe go into the bye and run a little hard and, you know, kind of see how it goes. Training completes. Let's upgrade. So we've got a couple of guys, and we'll just start from the top. So the thing to remember about this scheme down there, that puzzle piece means he fits the scheme. In order to get that bonus, it has to be within 3 of the overall. So I have to make sure that he stays that way. Thus, we'll go with that. You can see now the overall and his power goes up to 82. So in terms of his prototype, it's an 82, but his actual player overall is an 84. Different schemes, different players will have a different rating. So looking at it as a pass protector, he rates as an 84, agile 84, power 82, but collectively overall as a player, his overall rating is 84. So different scheme and archetypes, they're going to play a little different because certain ratings are important for those archetypes. Understandable. Next will be Tim Patrick. Do the same thing. You see there's a difference. It's the separation of 4. Cut it down to 3, so now he will get that bonus. And remember, the attributes that are boosted are random. You're more likely to get certain ones with the archetype, but they're still randomized. Start potential, so we'll see what we get out of him. Williams, guy that we have high hope in. So this is nice because his best is what we're going to focus on. So his overall will go up regardless. Awareness up 2, trucking up 1. So we found out during the preseason, I didn't show it, but during a conversation with Melvin Gordon, mentoring him, hidden superstar boost. And then you can see as we're going over the course of the season, you can see what's his injury rating, stamina, his fatigue. You can see week to week what he got in terms of progression. So you can see training, boom. That's what we got. Speed went down 1, kind of silly this early, but whatever. Week 2, you see what he got for certain things. The training and the scenario. The scenario is why he went up to what he is, and then boom, week 3. That's what you got. Looking forward to it. In terms of superstar abilities, you can see there. We have a couple that are unlocked for him. He's got the balance beam, avoid stumbling when carrying the ball. Can't unlock another one, but I could change what he has here. So see what he has. Ball carriers with this ability will break almost any hit-stick tackle attempt. Quickly shift, change direction. A second win. Trucking, spin cycle. Lots of options. I think actually in this case we'll go with bulldoze. Just let him run guys over. Alright. KJ Hamler. What have you got? Route runner is going to be what you get. There's one other thing I did want to look at too. 69 overall.
Oh yes.
In terms of that. So his next gen stats. Something to keep an eye on throughout the season too. Just putting that out there. Cushionberry, just go with power. Just keep, some of these are going to be really simple because I just want to make sure that they're within the 3 so that they get that boost. This will be different. because you're already there, so I'm not as bothered by it. Man and zone are important when it comes to secondary, so I'm going to try to focus on that as much as possible. Tight end, blocking. Possession, you're already within it, so we'll boost your block. Like that. Lead block +2, run block. I mean, that's what you're going to be doing as a tight end. I suspect that you're not, as a second, third tight end, you're not going to get a lot of options or a lot of routes called for you. Breadth. Hope you never see the field, so it really doesn't matter, but still, just hope you don't see the field. Alright, and then lastly, Bradley Chubb, our best guy. That power rush, got to keep it +3. He's going to be really good regardless anyway. And look at it, still works out good because he got a finesse boost. So he boosts his finesse and power, so he's more effective in both manners. +1 for pursuit and in tackle and in awareness across the board. One of our best players, a guy that we're going to eventually replace. Well, he's not replacing Von Miller. In terms of dominance, we hope he does. We'll have to find someone to, obviously be a number 2 pass rusher outside of him, but Brad's going to be a solid dude. And that finishes the upgrades. So next on the list, seeing who's returning from injury. Alright, got a backup back, so we're good there. The roster pretty much said we didn't make any changes, and the guys that are supposed to be starting are starting, if you remember from the last video. So now the really interesting thing coming up next is scouting. Let's take a look at this. We're going to have a lot of work to do. So first things first, let's break down the regions. You can see here, national covers everything. West, Central, Northeast, Southeast. That's what you got. So looking at each one, you can see here. So overall in this draft class, you can see this strength, left defensive end, cornerback, and wide receiver. You see what the weaknesses are: center, free safety, and middle linebacker. And it's broken down by your regions as well. This is a tough one because you can see Northeast is going to be the best for quarterback. Defensive end is best in the Southeast, so that could cause a change here. Since you're going to be best with quarterback, quarterbacks are best in the Northeast. Focus there. Focus there nationally because you're our best. Then you got linebacker and running back. So let's look at linebacker, what that is, because that's going to be super important. Oh, wrong one. Okay, we should break down. So linebacker. Running back's not strong in any of them. Unfortunate. It's also not weak in any, so that's good. We'll go west for the right outside linebacker. Technically, well, yeah, secondary position too, so that's fine. West there, and then central and southeast for the running backs. Simple. Make it easy for you. Okay. And now the prospects, where the real fun begins. So, we're going to break it down first, northeast, and I'm going to focus on quarterback. So what we have here, as you can see, top five projections here for these three. They aren't all quarterbacks, you can see, but these are highly touted guys. Let's look just at quarterback. So you've got basically 2 first rounders and one that you're looking to take in the second or third round. Looking at the West for linebackers, think the strength, well, either one, it really doesn't matter. Hey, San Diego State, a top 5? Really? Interesting. And you see where it has for the top fits there. So Pursuit already shows as a B. Those what it expects in terms of top fits. It's showing what we lack. Our strongest position is defensive line. Our weakest is tight end. You can see there, the player notes. Always looks for the massive hit, struggles to find the ball in the air. Motor is always running hot, so it means not a good pass coverage guy. Hits hard, probably has a big hit stick, or in terms of just strength rating. Strip the ball well, does not get flagged. Finesse with the spin, swift arm, over move, finesse, speed to power to bull rush blockers. So he's a finesse guy in terms of pass rushing, which is fine. So physical, this will unlock after the combine and the pro days, but you can see what his ratings range from. Acceleration, great to elite. Change of direction, good to great. Jumping, good to great. Strength, great to elite. Speed, decent to solid. I don't think he's like super fast, but as a speed rusher, it means speed moves in terms of finesse moves, so I could see that. And then skills. We have finesse moves, so based off of what you saw in the scouting report, I was able to figure the B for the finesse. And then also pursuit. Going back, motor's always running hot, which means he's always going, finding the ball. But this will be a guy to look at, so we'll add him as a favorite. What else do we got here? Clifton Nance. So same thing here. Pretty much the same type of guy. Strength is not as great. He's faster. I like that. His finesse move is an A. Man coverage is a C. Probably add him over to the list as well too, because we will be looking at some point to replace Mr. Miller. So to me, it would be easier just to start in the range or in the region that you're looking for, what position you're looking for, and kind of start there. You can see here, you've got the numbers down the bottom left, so who's moving up and who's moving down. Could be helpful. Day 3 projection. So if you remember, round 1 is day 1, round 2 is 2 through 3, and then day 3 is the rest. So potential undrafted free agent, and then day 3. And you'll see at the end it has the completion percentage, so how much they've been looked into. Totally good. Gonna go back to Northeast real quick, and we're gonna look at the quarterbacks. Now, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get either the quarterbacks at once, but I'm still going to look. So we have Glenn Wolf, top 5. Take calculated risk as a passer. Beautiful spiral on all his passes. Quick to throw at the slightest pressure. Knows when to throw it away. Will break the pocket occasionally to throw, and league average release time. So physical strengths are still the same. The difference is you see at the bottom, throw power, specific to the position, and then skills, specific to the position. So you don't get to really see anything about his throwing accuracy. Keep an eye on him, though I'm still going to mark him as a favorite. And then Spellman from Notre Dame. Same fits in terms of quarterbacks. You see also their fast shot put style 3/4 motion, so it doesn't have your typical throw motion, but gets the ball out quick. Important. Quick to take a check down, to me that shows awareness. See what you got on him. Nothing great. Just not really interested in that guy. We'll look at this guy though. Round 2 to 3. Never seen a window to throw into that. Definitely sounds like Jameis. Beautiful spiral, quick to throw out the slightest pressure as well. Knows when to throw it away. Exclusively plays from the pocket, my type of quarterback. And then the same thing, fast and smooth throwing motion. Deep accuracy is a B. Acceleration, not great. Strength, great to elite. Throw power, good to great. Don't need a great, elite arm. I just need you to be able to make most of the throws, so put him as well. Anything else that jumps out to me? In terms of quarterbacks, well, let's go national. Because remember, our national scout, though she does focus on defensive tackle, you will get to look everywhere. So you see there's two for sure first rounders, and then one that projects in the first or second round. This isn't a great quarterback for, or great quarterback draft class, as was noted. So I don't feel as inclined. But there's another position to look at. Just go tight end. You have Noah Fant, but I like to run 2 tight end sets. So let's see what else is out there. See a couple of first round projections. Let's look at Georgia. Suffers from concentration drops. Great body control on the sidelines. Fights for every single inch. Good at picking up the ball in the air. Avoids big hits. Typically avoids getting flags. Not always, but he can. Strength is marginally decent. That's probably going to be a turn off to me. Awareness B, deep route B. Because I also need you to be able to block if I'm going to run 2 tight end sets. Let's go to Oklahoma. Clayton Dixon. What do we have here? Pretty much the same thing. Yeah, nothing different. Good speed, good strength. It looks to be very quick. You can see his acceleration, agility, change of direction, all of that is great, so probably why he's rated high. Carry is A. I'm going to mark this guy too. I mean, we don't have a lot of depth at tight end, so it would add someone to Noah. Noah did have injury problems in college, another big injury, so someone to keep an eye on. And then we'll also look at this guy here, Mason Shields. Mason's a good name. All across the board, the same thing. Elite in terms of acceleration and agility or potentially, but he doesn't have good strength. I don't like that. Again, I need you guys to be able to block. Run power, block power is a B. Here. Offensive line, we could use a center. No one major there. Top 5, Derek Barrett. Let's take a look at you. Motor's always running, known to attract flags. Not a good thing. But you can see elite acceleration, change of direction, so that means he's probably a guy that you can pull and run counters with. Sweeps, getting out in, the convoy screens, a good guy for that. Pass power block is a B in terms of power, and then C for finesse. Keep an eye on him. I'm always going to start with the offensive lineman up there. I mean, this has got to be good, right? Typically avoids getting flagged. Impact block is an A, pass block is a C. We can work on that. The offensive line is always something that's super major for me to work on. If you have the offensive line right, it tends to help negate some holes in other spots. Alfonso Stevens from Boston College. Same thing. Mark him. Right tackle, Amir Langford from Miami. We'll mark him and just take a look. Same thing. Defensive tackle obviously is going to be a big one for us because we only have 2 on the roster. We're going to need some more depth at some point. It is what our best scout is experienced in, so I will definitely take her word. So I can tell you right now, I'm just going to mark everyone that is at least round 2 to 3. Let's take a look. So from Louisville, look, I'm a Kentucky fan, but I'm also not stupid. Like the stuff that you see over there, doesn't get flagged. Elite in almost everything across the board. So remember, I'm not playing this game, so if I don't have a good season, it doesn't matter. At least in the beginning. Great to elite in everything. This could be one of those, like an Aaron Donald type guy you could build a defensive front around. Stamina's enough. That can be worked on. So we'll take a look at him. Starks. Similar things. Elite-ish speed, but pretty much good to great across the board and everything. I like that. And then Anthony Gonzalez. Player notes are similar. Great to elite in a lot of things. And this is a guy that is 1 to 2, so that means potentially you can double back. Or maybe not get the elite guy, but still get a very solid guy here. So you see a C and D, that's not great, but we'll have to see what's out there. But those are kind of what we're going to be looking at here. We'll look at to try to I always say, I talk about it on stream all the time. The most important thing to me, trenches, trenches, trenches. If you take care of the trenches, things will always be okay. One other thing to note, if you haven't seen, that's all I want to see, mock draft. Mock drafts aren't available yet. You can see there's a show here, it doesn't. There should be 3 over the course of the season, so it kind of tells one where you're focused on. So that's what you can see here. So week 2 is position, you have position focus. Week 7, more progress revealed by your national scout. 8, position focus, so we'll get to focus on the defensive tackles a little bit more. Super focus scouting, so I can key in on certain guys. The problem about keying in on certain guys is it's known, so the guys you do key on will move up on the mock draft, or they attract attention. Something to pay attention to for sure. But that is what we'll do. And you can see at the bottom there, so 10% unlocks just the player traits and base athleticism. Every 10 you unlock another letter grade. At 70% you get their archetype, and then at 100 you get what their talent is, their true talent, and then the remaining skill letter grade. So there's a lot to go through. We'll do what we can. We'll definitely focus on the areas that we think we need to improve the team. So defensively, you can see overall we're an 83, offensive a 77. We will have to address a quarterback position at some point, but we have Teddy Bridgewater for now. That's not bad. Let's let a more, whatever you want to call, a better quarterback than Drew Lock run this offense and see what we can get. I said that is going to be the end of this video. We will hop back in next week and we will take a look at what happened against the New York Football Giants and go from there. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week with another video. Take care, and hopefully by then I'll have started a game, whether it be against the Lions or with the Bears. You can see some actual Madden footage. Appreciate you watching. I'll catch you next week.